Hi, my name is Ahmed Khan and I am the founder at Ecommerce. We help e-commerce clients to grow their website organic traffic and help them increase their revenue and get more orders via organic search. So today our topic is about ranking signal consolidation by URL localization. So one of the problem which we have seen a lot while working with our e-commerce clients, that is they have a lot of pages. So for example, if you are selling shoes or if you're selling jackets, so there could be a lot of pages or a lot of URLs you have to deal with. For example, those could be on category pages or those could be on your product pages. So if you are, let's say, if you have the category about women jackets, so under that category there could be a lot of variations for that, and those URLs can be changing. For example, you can add the filter for different sizes, you can add the filter for different pricing or whatever the attributes of that specific category have. So this is the problem, and when there is a problem, obviously there needs to be some solution, and obviously it's quite challenging for e-commerce stores to properly communicate with Google about their URL and URL consolidation. So for example, just to make it much easier, let's say you want to rank, let's say, 50 URLs in Google. Those could be your category pages or product pages, and they are highly converting pages, right? So to rank those 50 pages, what you need to do is you need to consolidate or focus all of the ranking signals on those 50 pages or X amount of pages your website have. But the problem occurs when, apart from those 50 pages, you also have around, let's say, 1000 pages. And the problem which occurs due to those 1000 pages which have no value, maybe those pages have some filters or those pages have some have any data. So those pages waste Google scroll budget. Those extra pages, or we can say spam pages, those they create a lot of problems for your main pages which you want to rank. So it's obviously it's natural for e-commerce stores so to have a lot of pages. It's quite natural. So as an SEO agency and as working as an SEO for different clients, what we try to do is we try to consolidate the ranking signals on important pages we have on our website, and we try our best and we make our strategies aligned together to consolidate and focus our the ranking signals, the links authority, the topical authority signals on some important pages, so that Google properly understand those pages, and obviously Google rank those pages higher, because now Google is giving the value to those pages which are being properly consolidated. So this is the mind map of the ranking signal consolidation. This is so important for e-commerce stores. If you can properly consolidate the signals, you can obviously rank higher in search results for your money terms. So I have detailed that down and added a lot of context around that. So let's start from here. Ranking signal consolidation system for e-commerce SEO. So obviously this is a system, and if you follow a proper system, you obviously be you obviously wouldn't be distracting. You will be focusing on the goal, and it would be much easier for your team or for if you are planning to follow this system. So the problem: high SEO spending but low ROI. Obviously you have a lot of pages, and you're spending a lot on SEO, you're publishing content, you're building links, but obviously you're not seeing much ROI for your investments in SEO. So this is the problem which is related with our canonicalization issues and with the ranking signal consolidation issues. This problem is connected with this one, lack of URL ranking signal consolidation. So these two problems are related with each other. So yeah, these two are related with each other. So bad URL canonicalization. So this is the problem. If we talk about what actually the canonicalization is, so let's say here we can see definition, process of selecting representative URL of content. So in simple terms, let's say there are 5 pages, for example, and what we can do as an SEO, or what you can do as a webmaster or a website owner, you can specify to Google that out of these 5 pages, this is the canonical page. This X page is the canonical page. And you can signal that canonicalization hint from other pages to this specific page, right? And there are a lot of ways which we will obviously discuss how you can hint Google about the canonicalization, that canonicalization hint, so that Google properly consolidate those signals and rank that specific page. Okay, so the problem which occurred due to bad canonicalization is, so here we can see dilutes ranking potential across duplicate URLs. So duplicate URLs, obviously, this duplicate URLs and duplicate content are pretty much same things. So if you have, let's say, 5 pages, and out of those 5 pages, they are, let's say, 70 to 80%, they are duplicate. So the signals, or the ranking signals for all those 5 pages on the website will be diluted because they are not properly consolidated, right? So obviously that would be not good for users as well, because now users are also getting confused, because there should be one page with one primary intent, targeting one primary query, and you should focus all your strategies and efforts on that specific page around main primary query. So these are the problems which are caused by bad URL canonicalization. So every duplicate URL dilutes towards Google ranking. Obviously, if the ranking signals are diluted, obviously it will badly impact the Google's ranking. Filter pages with faulty canonicalization and product variants without proper signals. So filter pages are present on category pages. You can filter out different variations of your category, and on products you can filter different variants. So the canonicalization plays a huge role in both important pages, because your e-commerce store has 2 highly important pages apart from homepage. Obviously homepage is so important in terms of branding, in terms of your brand identity and your main entity, but your category page and your product page, these 2 types of pages are so important. Why? Because they will be properly ranking for commercial keywords where users are ready to buy, right? So for properly consolidating the ranking signals of these category pages and these product pages, you need to focus a lot on best canonicalization strategies, and plus you need to avoid the mistakes of the bad URLs which can be occurred due to bad URL canonicalization. And so the problems confuses Google about which URL to show in search results. This is a huge problem, because if Google is confusing about which URL to show, obviously no URL will be ranking, because there are some confusions related to the ranking, and maybe a URL start to rank higher, and another day maybe another URL start to rank higher. So this could be the problem related to duplicate content issues. Same, these issues are pretty much same, the lack of consolidation signals. So I've seen a lot of people saying, a lot of people in SEO saying duplicate content is bad and you need to buy duplicate content. But naturally there is no any penalty on duplicate content. But if let's say if you have 10 pages and all of those pages have, let's say, 80% duplicate content, so naturally it's bad for users, because they will be wasting time, navigating each page to find their relevant content. So it's bad for users as well. But in terms of Google, what you can do is maybe you can redirect, or maybe you can put a proper canonical tag for Google to properly understand which page is the main or the primary version of these duplicate URLs, so that Google can properly consolidate the signals. That's why we are talking about proper URL canonicalization. So bad, so impact user, obviously, if the pages are duplicate, the UX would be bad as well, and the crawl budgets. So Google has figured out, based on machine learning algorithm, there is a crawl budget for every website, and that budget keeps on changing based on the website quality and some other factors, the algorithms or machine learning factors. So in this case, so if there are a lot of undesired URLs or a lot of URLs without proper canonicalization strategies, or with lack of the lack of management, so Google, they will waste the crawl budget of Google. And obviously Google is smart enough to not waste its crawl budget. So the problem would not be for Google, the problem would be for your website, and your website wouldn't be ranking much higher, and your pages wouldn't be getting a lot of traction in search. So these are the problems, and these are the reasons why we are here to talk about the URL canonicalization and discussing how we can properly implement it, and why we should care. So so these are some definitions for that, so that you can properly understand. So this is related to e-commerce. So why e-commerce create duplicate URLs? So e-commerce platform may generate duplicate by design. Obviously, what we have just discussed, there are some natural designs, and how e-commerce sites are built, and how users get the value while navigating e-commerce websites. Faceted navigation. So you can see here, there are some filters like color, size, brands, price, filters. So these filters naturally may create a lot of URLs. So create exponential URL combinations, 5 filter type with 10 options each, 1 lakh plus unique URLs. So all of these are related to, the faceted navigation problem, and, helping users with a lot of variations, right? So there are some other reasons why e-commerce stores may have a lot of duplicate URLs. Let's say sorting parameters. So these are the parameters. You can see based on these parameters, there could be some problems with a lot of duplicate URLs on e-commerce websites. Session tracking and IDs. So you can see UTM parameters, session tokens, affiliate codes, all indexable if not handled properly. Product variants. So some same products in different color sizes. Blue widgets versus red widgets. So if there are products, at product pages, if we have different variants based on the colors, based on the size, based on some other attributes of products, so they may create a lot of unwanted URLs. And here we can see the pagination. So this is the problem. This is the pagination problem at category page. So each page indexed separately, fragments authority across series. So these points what we have just discussed from here to here, these are related specifically to e-commerce websites, and they may occur naturally due to the website technical stack, and due to the natural way how e-commerce websites are created and how users naturally navigate those websites. There are some category pages, simple, and there are some product pages. Okay, so this is the problem which is related to the home page or the overall website configuration. So you can see protocol and www variations. So HTTP and HTTP versions accessible. Most of the time you can, this issue is basic. I don't see much sites with this issue, but yes, we have seen some sites. Interestingly, we have seen some sites still facing these issues. Yes, these are basics, but yeah, they can be occurred even on big websites as well. So HTTP at both versions accessible. It's a bad idea. What you have to do is you need to do 3-1 redirect for these kind of versions. So your website must have only single version. It could be without www, and you should use HTTPS for Google, to properly show our websites, and it obviously it adds a lot of credibility as well. Yeah, so if you're dealing with different language variants, so you can see here same content on UK, US, and other languages without proper hreflang plus canonical setup, and Google doesn't know which region to show for which user. So obviously we will discuss the how you can deal with canonical tag if you are working with hreflang websites, or where your website is international and you are serving different audiences. But in simple terms, let's say you're serving US people, and then you started to serve with the same website UK people. So the, the difference is not much if we talk about the language. Yes, there are some changes in the writing style or some spellings, but we can say 70 to 80% or even 90% of the content is same. So here there could be some problems with duplicate content, and your team can mess up with properly consolidating the signals for a specific region website. And we will discuss in detail how we can properly make sure that we are not causing such problems. So these are the canonicalization methods we have mentioned to properly consolidate our ranking signals. So let's start from it. So what we have already discussed, so it's not a directive, it's a hint, it's not a rule. Google may still choose a different URL, and you can specify one URL and Google may choose another URL, and you can check it in your search console report as well in URL inspection tool. And there is some there you can see that Google has selected another URL, which another URL from the one which you mentioned or which you provided as a hint. So there are a lot of methods of redirects, and I have numbered them based on their strength. So this method has a lot of strength, then it has strength less than that, and these are, so if you go deeper down, so the strength would be decreased. And if you want to access this whole mind map, I will put the link of both my school community, where I share these kind of systems or mind maps occasionally with SEOs or with e-commerce founders, so that they can make better strategies, they can make their websites sounds good for users, and they can obviously rank higher and make more money. Yeah, and I will add the link in my video description as well. So if we talk about redirects, this is the strongest signal. So let's dive deeper into it. It tells Google that this URL no longer exists. Go here instead. It's so simple. You have a page, and then you simply redirect that page to another page, right? It means that the destination page is now the page which should be served to users. And if you are using 301 redirect, then your whole link juice and authority will be transferred from the previous page to the next page where you have applied the redirect. So these are the use cases for redirect. So discontinued products. So for example, you launched a product and then it discontinued. So obviously navigating at this product page wouldn't be helpful for readers or as Google as well. So you can simply redirect that page to either category or either another relevant product, which is highly relevant. So this is what we have previously discussed. So you need to add redirect from HTTP to HTTPS. This is server level redirect. and non-www to www, vice versa. Pick one and stick. This is so important. You should pick one and stick to it. Either you can land your website with www, or you can skip that, simply skip that, or without www. It's not a problem if you land, if your page land with either, but your other page must be redirecting to your main page. So old URL structure to new URL structure during migrations, yeah, so it happens, and if you fail to do it properly, then it causes a lot of problems. And trailing slash normalization. So you can see there are some pages. Let's say if I open hrefs.com blog, so you can see there are some articles which are ranking with trailing slash, right? And if I remove that trailing slash, let's say, so you can see they will still be loading with trailing slash. So why? Because this URL is redirecting to this URL with trailing slash, and that's the main important URL, which is serving to users and Google as well. Okay, so important third, don't post link equity. Yeah. Method 2, rel canonical link element strong signal. So this is the method which is often used. The difference between this method and this method is, in this method, redirect, your previous page activity or your previous page presence wouldn't be much credited, or it happens when you want to leave that page. You can either the product is discontinued, either you don't want to show that page to users of Google. But in this method, canonical link element, you still want to show other pages, right? But you mention one page as a primary version, or you can put the canonical tag for this, properly labeling that this page, right, this page is the primary version, and all those pages which might have duplicate content are canonical to this specific page X, and this X page and all the signals of other pages must be consolidated to this X page, right? And this X page must be linked throughout the website, and this X page must be ranking higher, and you will be getting backlinks to this X page, and this is the page X which will be ranking in Google, and which will be helping you to get more orders. So this is the most common methods which we have already mentioned. Add link element in head section pointing to preferred URL. Yeah, so this is the way. So in your HTML, if you're working in HTML, there is some head section in your HTML, and you can add this canonical tag there. And these are the use cases when we can use that canonical link element. So filter page that must stay accessible. What we have previously discussed, stay accessible. We are not leaving them. We are just properly consolidating the signals, but still we want to access those pages. Yeah, but shouldn't rank independently. Yeah, this is for ranking signal consolidation specifically. Sorted views of category pages and product variants pointing to the main product, URLs with tracking parameters. Maybe you are using any UTM parameter or whatever the parameter you are using. So this is the code example you can check. And these are some critical rules. Use absolute URLs. This is so important because what we have noticed while auditing some our client websites, they started to use relative URLs like this one, but this is the absolute URL. So you should use absolute URLs as in your canonical link element, right? One canonical tag per page. You should not add multiple pages. That would be confusing for Google. And canonical URL must return 200 status code. This is important because the X page, which we just discussed, where all of the URLs are pointing to, so that URL must return 200 status code. This is so important. And canonical URL must be indexable, and there must not be no index tag. So the reason why we mentioned these things, obviously these are some basic things. But still, there are some websites. We have in our team, we have a lot of stories as well, where we have seen some huge brands making these basic mistakes, and they are throwing a lot of money on content, on blogs and content strategies, but they are facing some basic challenges which we are discussing here. So in simple terms, if you do the basics right, if your foundation is perfect, because e-commerce websites are naturally tech heavy, so you need to do a lot of technical stuff on them, because you are dealing with a lot of pages. So if you do the basics right and the foundation right, then whatever the building you will make on that, that will give you the best ROI. Your investment wouldn't be wasting. You will not be wasting your investment, and you will be getting a lot of return out of them. So first you need to do the basics right, and then you can go beyond and you can build the authority. Clinicalization. So we have discussed this matter, and there are some pages where we don't have HTML. We can't modify HTML, because in this case we were able to modify HTML, but in this case we can't modify HTML. So then what we just do is we use HTTP header. It has same strength as link placement, sent in HTTP response header, useful for non-HTML files. And these are some of the non-HTML files, like PDF files, images with multiple URLs, and when you can't modify HTML. And this is the example you can see here. So the method 4 is sitemap inclusion and sitemaps. So the sitemap should really be cleaned. There must not be any tracking URLs there, any non-indexable URLs there, and any whatever you are adding in your sitemap, that must be for ranking purpose, and that URL must be the main version. It must show the status code of 200. And so you can hint Google by adding URLs in your sitemap to show that these URLs are the main versions, or these are the canonicalized URLs, and those URLs are the URLs where you want to consolidate your ranking signals, right? So only include canonical URLs in sitemap. This is so important. Never include duplicates. And here you can see what you can include in your sitemap and what you can and what should not be added in your sitemap. So the category pages, you can see here base URL and no filters, and product pages. You can add main variants only, and key landing pages like your blog post, your brand identity pages like about us, contact us, and home page. So you must exclude these kind of pages. So filtered URLs, sorted URLs, and the pagination URLs, color size variants, and session or tracking parameter URLs. The reason why you should not include these URLs, so they will waste a lot of crawl budget. They will confuse Google to properly understand your main URLs, and they will cause problems for Google, and they will simply confuse Google. So yeah, you must include only these URLs in your sitemaps, and the sitemap must be cleaned, and obviously this is the way how you can properly communicate with search engines, that this is the clean sitemap, and Google can land on those pages and can rank on those pages in search results. So this is the method 5, and this is the weaker signal, and I would not recommend doing that, because if you want to hint Google the canonical version of a page or a set of URLs, you must add the canonical tag, or you must do some other stuff. But for internal linking, so some people think that if you do an internal linking, so you are already signaling Google that these are important pages, and Google will choose the canonical tag. Obviously, Google is smart enough to choose the canonical tag, even if you're not adding any canonical tag. But your job as an SEO to make things easier for Google. So What's the best way of doing the internal links is, you let's say you have mentioned the canonical URLs, and if you are internal linking from your other pages, you must internal link the pages which are the main versions and which are not 404, which are showing 200 error code. So Google notices which URL you link to most. Always link to the canonical URLs internally. And here you can see other details: navigation menus, link to address, related products, link to main products, breadcrumbs. For breadcrumbs, use canonical category paths, and blog internal links points to these pages because these are the commercial pages you want to rank higher, product and category URLs. And auditing is so important, and here are some of the problems while you are working with CMS. So your CMS might introduce some non-canonical links, or there could be some changes, so you need to keep auditing. Try to audit your whole website at least a month, so that would be much easier for you to track the stuff, or double checking if there are some problems in your website URLs. Okay, so you can see that these methods can stack together because obviously what I have previously mentioned, you can use multiple methods. Here you can see they will strengthen, and you can see here single canonical tag is equal to one signal might work, might not. But if you redirect deprecated URLs plus add canonical, per side of is equal to much stronger signal. This is so important. So redirect deprecated URLs plus add canonical tags plus clean sitemap plus fix internal links. That is much stronger signal for Google to rank a page, and for your website as well, to not waste the time of your users, and you know, to not waste UX or to the UI for your website. So here we can see the best practices for that. This is so important because there are some do's and there are some not to do's. So this is what we have previously discussed. So absolute URLs must be used. Make sure canonical URLs returns 200 status. Yeah, links to canonical URLs in the internal navigation links. Whatever when you are doing internal links, so you must link to canonical URLs, and include all the canonical URLs in the sitemap. Use consistent canonicalization across all methods. Same URL everywhere, because these URLs are the core elements or the core versions which you want to rank. So you should not try to use confusing URLs or different URLs. So that will result in confusion. So HTTPS is so important over HTTP as a chronicle. HTTPS is highly recommended here, and don't use. These are some avoiding. You should not use robots.txt to block duplicate URLs for canonicalization. Doesn't work. I have seen a website which was using this method, and this is highly avoidable. It's not a good idea for that. Using URL removal tool for canonicalization, you should not use that. So there's some at Search Console, there's a URL removal tool, and you should avoid that. Yes, that has its own use cases, has own uses, but you should not use that for hiding the URLs if you're dealing with canonicalization. So this occurs when there is a lack of communication between your developer team and your SEO team. So the lack of communication result in the conflicting signals. They may add other signals, or they may add other kind of methods. So based on two methods, you are making, let's say, X URLs your primary, and based on other two methods, you can making your Y URLs primary. So both are conflicting together, and obviously they will create problems for Google and ultimately for your website. So you should not use URL fragments as canonical URLs. Video fragments are you must avoid at any cost, and don't use no index to handle canonicalization blocks it blocks pages entirely. Should not, no index tag has its own uses. You should not use that. Don't chronicle all pages to page one, hides products on later pages. The pagination pages, yeah. So you can see, let's say if you're on the category page and there are let's say thousands of products and you are using pagination. So please don't canonical all paginate pages to page one. They must be self-referencing canonical. They must not be canonical to the page one. This is the reason. Hide products on later pages. This is the problem. It can hide products on later pages, and you can face problems while in terms of ranking for those pages which are either at page 10 or page 12. So these are some of the implementations by scenarios. We can take a deep look here as well. Faceted navigation filters. So you can see filters create thousands of URL combinations. Here the solution: all filter pages must chronicle to the parent category, right? Remove filtered URLs from the sitemap, which we have previously discussed. Don't link to filter URLs from navigation. So there's some confusion. There are two types of pages: filtered pages. So they must be canonical to the parent category. But if you are dealing with paginated pages, they must not be canonicalized to the main page. They must be self-referencing canonicals. But the filter pages must be canonical to the parent category. And remove filtered URLs from the sitemap. Your sitemap must be clean. It must be it must contain the URLs which are worthy to rank, and never link to filtered URLs from navigation. This is the problem which we just noticed while working with an e-commerce client. So internally, the website has had some problem. So it was linking to filtered URLs. The internal links were going to filtered URLs. So this was bad because internal links must be pointing to the main versions, either a product page or the category page. So this is the exception we have here. So what we just discussed, let's say all filter pages canonical to the parent category, but if there's a filter combination has high search volume, let's say blue dresses, let's say you have a category page and there's some filter which result in blue dresses title or the content, and you want to rank for that specific query as well. So this is the solution. Consider making a proper indexable page with unique content. So you must make sure that if the user is adding filters, the content must be changing. If the content is not changing, there will be duplicate content, and that filter will not be adding much value. So if the content is changing, the page will start to rank for that specific phrase which you want to target when a user apply a specific filter. So this is the exception which you need to make sure if you are dealing with category pages of your e-commerce store. So this is relevant to the product variants. So same products in different colors has its own separate URLs. This is the problem we have, and these are the options to mitigate that problem. So single product page with variant selectors and all variant URLs human redirect to the main product. And this is the option B we here. Each variant page canonicalizes to the main product. So you can use either of the option, right? And based on the situation and based on your product page and what kind of attributes your product has. So it depends on the product page and it depends on your ranking goals, but you can select the one which suits you better if you're making the technical audit or making your website technical sound. And this is the code you can see here, the exact code which we previously discussed and the example code, and you can put that code in your product page. So here we have the problem with pagination. Previously, you can see here we were using the prev and the next tags. These were the tags which we were previously using while working with the paginated URLs. But what we follow now is we just use self-referencing chronicle. So here you can see, do not chronicle all pages to page 1. So this is the problem. What you have to do is self-chronicalize. Yeah, page 2 must be self-chronicalized to the page 2. There must be self-referencing chronicle. And here you can see use rel prev and rel next. You can add that as well, as you can see it mentions that it still have some crawlers. So this is how you can deal with the pagination stuff and make sure that your pagination is sound across your website. And if you have the international website and you are working in different in different regions, so you can see here same content for different languages. Here's the solution: implement hreflang annotations and each regional version self-chronicalize. This is so important. And do not cross region chronicle. This is the problem which we have seen a lot. Please don't use chronicle for cross region purpose. Use this one, self chronicalize. UK page chronicalizes to UK page. You can see here, these are the example code. You can see what you can see here is this is link chronicle, right? And these are the alternate. So what you can check it, what you can notice, this is the UK and this is the NGB, and this is simple US, and you can see the US. So this is how you can deal with international websites, because you're working with international with e-commerce websites who have international pages. You need to be more aligned with href, the proper usage of hreflang tag, and properly signaling Google that these pages you want to rank for this specific region and these pages you want to rank for this specific region. And if you fail to do that, you will be seeing a lot of problems with Google confusing about your language pages, and yeah, maybe you can find some problems. Maybe you can your UK page start to rank for US region. So you need to make the foundation perfectly aligned with your overall strategy in the future. So Google prefers HTTP pages as chronicle, and these are some reasons. HTTPS versus HTTP. So HTTPS page has invalid SL certificate. So you can, this is the reason. If this is a problem, it can fail. And there could be some insecure dependencies. It can obviously result in the failure. And HTTPS page redirects to HTTP. This is also the problem. And HTTP page has rel chronicle pointing to HTTP page. These are also the problem. These are the problems with when you're dealing with HTTPS and HTTP versions. So these are the fixes. And when you are auditing the website, so you need to deal with that, and you need to audit that problems on your website. And if there are some problems related to that, you need to correct them. And these are the fixes we have. So 301 redirect all HTTP to HTTPS, update all canonical tags to HTTPS, and update sitemap to HTTPS URLs only, and implement HTTPS header. So what you have to do is, while editing the website, you need to find these kind of problems, what we have previously discussed as well, and you need to use these kind of fixes for making your website properly technical sound and worthy to rank higher. So let's come to the audit process. Step 1, URL parameter inventory. You can see here, so export all URLs from Google Search Console and filter for URLs containing, so this is where you can find a lot of problematic URLs, and they mostly contain this question mark sign. And you can see the document every parameter type. Here you can mention the parameters. You can see the parameters: filter, sorting, pagination, sessions, tracking, and flag parameter that should never be indexed. So the parameters can create a lot of problem for your website if they are indexing, and if they are getting, let's say, clicks. It means that Google is confused about your parameter URL and your main URL. So if you remove that ambiguity, and if you remove that kind of lack of consolidation, your main URL may start to rank higher, because that's the main URL. You are doing internal links to that. You are building backlinks to that version. So that would be much helpful for your website ranking potential. So here you can validate the canonical tag. So here the steps you can see. You can simply crawl the website, and then you can check for pages with missing canonical tags, pages with self-referencing canonicals. They are correct. So each page must be self-referencing canonical, and pages with canonicalizing to 4 or 4 URLs. So the page you are canonicalizing to, that page must be the best possible version. That page must have good content, high quality images, everything perfect, and 200 status code for Google, so that Google can show that page to the users. And pages canonicalizing to non-index URLs. This is a red flag, and relative URLs instead of absolute. So you can check for these kind of errors in your report while you crawl the website via Screaming Frog or Sitepearl, and you can correct them based on the knowledge we have previously discussed. So Google's canonical decisions. So here you can see use Search Console URL inspection tool, and for 500 to 100 key pages, check user declared canonical, what you specified as a hint, and Google selected canonical, what Google actually lose. So you can see here. So what Google actually means is you provided the hint to Google by adding canonical tag, but Google chose another URL because that was a hint, and Google may choose another URL for that. And document every mismatch, and these are the priority fixes we have. So what you can do is you can see the page which Google has selected, and if that page is better than your hinted page or the page you canonicalized, then you must change your strategy. And if Google is confused, then what you can do is you can update, or you can stack different methods of canonicalization to properly communicate the hint. Maybe there's some problem with your canonicalization. You are using another method. You can use your internal links are bad. Your overall strategy is not aligned with your canonicalization strategies. So they must work all aligned together, so that Google properly select your hinted URL and rank that URL. So these are some of the redirect chain analysis. So crawl for redirect chain. Redirect chain are bad for Google and users as well, because it wastes some time, it wastes some resources of Google, and it wastes time for users as well. So it must not be longer than 2 to 3, and you can, once you find those redirect chains, then you can correct them. This is what we have previously discussed: sitemap versus index alignment. So compare sitemap URLs against index URLs in Search Console. This comparison is so important. If you are auditing the website technical situation, so sitemap URLs not index is equal to potential crawl issues. Yeah, there are some issues with crawl, and Google is not crawling. It means that Google is not giving value to those URLs, and you are failed as a website owner or as an SEO expert to let Google give value to those URLs. And you need to strategize, or you need to make some plan to let Google give value to those potential URLs which you want to rank higher. Yeah, so if your index URL is not in sitemap, so it could be due to duplicate issues. And here we have the measuring success. So just to conclude what we previously discussed, whatever we are doing, whatever the strategies we are doing, it's not just knowledge, it's not just a theory. You have to implement it at your website. And if you are implementing, if you are asking your client or even you are a client, or even you are a website owner, and if you are spending your time on that, you need to measure the ROI. Because maybe you can go for building backlinks, maybe you can go for creating content, maybe you can do any other thing. But what we just discussed, if you are dealing with this technical stuff, you need to measure the ROI, you need to measure the success, any change or anything improved, if there is anything improved, if nothing has changed. Measuring is so important. So in terms of measuring, and if we have corrected all those mistakes or all those errors, so you can see decrease in duplicate Google choose different canonical errors in search console, crawl budget shifting to canonical URLs. This is the goal we have, the signal consolidations and the budget, the proper budget allocation to the most important pages. This is the goal we have, because if Google is allocating the budget, then obviously Google will be ranking those URLs, and those URLs, either product pages or category pages, will be ranking higher and helping you to generate more leads or orders for your e-commerce store. So this is another point we can double check. If we have implemented all that stuff, then and there are reduction in total index pages, it means that things are working. Results indicators. This is what you can check in 8 to 12 weeks. So category pages improving in rankings, increased organic sessions to canonical URLs, more queries triggering your preferred pages, and better click-through rates, cleaning SERP presence. These are the goals. Why we have made this video so long, and why we have done all that stuff. Because if we are achieving these goals, this means that we figured out a problem. First, we figured out a problem, and second, we solved that problem based on the knowledge we have here, by following a proper system, by following a proper methodology. Because we are dealing with search engines, and search engines could be so smart, and at some time they could be so dumb, because they are simply algorithms. So you need to think like a search engine when you are working with a search engine. As an SEO, if you are working with getting organic traffic, so you need to think like a search engine. And these are the next steps we can follow. So complete the audit. If some pages, you can see here, we started to work on, let's say, 50 to 100 pages right here. And if they have shown the improvements, then we can complete the audit, and then we can prioritize. Prioritization is so important. If we are not prioritizing, then there are some problems in our strategy, and we are wasting the budget, and we will not be able to see the best impact of our implementations. And implement redirects and canonical tags properly by following all that knowledge. And sitemap cleaning and fixing internal links. If you have huge website, for our clients, we have created the AI agents for that. We are using a lot of technologies for that, because if you have, let's say, 5,000 pages, so it's not humanly possible to fix the internal links for every page. So we use a lot of methodologies for that, to fix the internal links at scale. And if you want better results while working with AI or working with the automation stuff, what I recommend, or what the methodology we use in our agencies, we never ever rely 100% on AI or automation. Yes, we use that, but we have people who are available, or who are responsible to double check, or to add the human input, or to use their brain to and this helps a lot, because AI could be dumped in some time, and if there is a human involved, if there is some brain involved who is expert or trained in all that knowledge, so that would be easier for that human to properly double check the quality of that. And plus, you can keep monitoring the search console for improvements, and then you can measure the overall review of your technical audit, or whatever the implementations you have done at your website. So this is all related to the canonical tag. If you come up with any question, you can share your thoughts in comments, any improvement, any feedback, anything else. We are all for that. And plus, if you are an e-commerce client, so you are facing these kind of problems. You are facing problems with ranking higher, with more orders, with your website. You are investing money. You are investing a lot at that website, and you're not seeing ROI. So we at Ecom Holistic, we follow semantic principles. We have the frameworks, we have the systems, we have tested them on our clients, making 7 to 8 figures, and we can implement those systems and those frameworks on your website as well and grow your e-commerce brand as well. So favor the implementations you have done at your website. So this is all related to the clinical tag. If you come up with any question, you can share your thoughts in comments, any improvement, any feedback, anything else. We are all for that. And plus, if you are an e-commerce client, so and you are facing these kind of problems. You are facing problems with ranking higher, with more orders, with your website. Maybe you are investing money. You are investing a lot at that website, and you're not seeing ROI. So we at Ecom Holistic, we follow semantic principles. We have the frameworks, we have the systems, we have tested them on our clients, making 7 to 8 figures, and we can implement those systems and those frameworks on your website as well and grow your e-commerce brand as well. So feel free to keep in touch. Have a good day. Bye bye.